Will the destroyer of Star Wars, Kathleen Kennedy, be ousted finally?
Don't.
Don't what?
Don't give me hope.
So D23 just happened this past weekend. We saw some major updates for Star Wars. With that came not only a Skeleton Crew trailer, but it came Mandalorian and Grogu teased with Jon Favreau and Filoni on the stage talking about this new movie. They just started filming it a couple weeks ago, so still very fresh. Comes out in 2026. And we saw the footage online, the leaked footage that showed of Mandalorian and Grogu on what we think is Hoth and some AT-ATs that were shooting at him. We saw Zeb from Rebels show up. So some fun little teases there. But really my biggest question is Kathleen Kennedy has been known to say recently that she's ready to retire. She wants a big win. Clearly we know Lucasfilm has not had any wins lately.
No.
So is Mandalorian and Grogu going to be the big win? So what do you think about that?
I think that if Favreau is not interfered with, like we both believe he was in Season 3. So if we get Mandalorian Season 1, Season 2 in this movie, this is going to be a huge hit.
Yeah.
I think it's going to do numbers that Star Wars hasn't seen in a long time.
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion because I'm a huge fan of The Mandalorian. It's one of my favorite IPs from the Disney era of Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I love Jon Favreau. I think he truly has a respect and reverence for Star Wars and a reverence for George Lucas. And I think that he grew up being a fan. He knows the lore. Like, he is very smart and he knows how to write. He knows how to direct. Like, I think that if he is truly given the keys to the kingdom, which we can jump into that later as well, if he is truly given an opportunity, which Disney, please don't mess this up, let Jon Favreau cook. If he's allowed to, I think it's going to be insane. If we get an opportunity to see Luke Skywalker from Season 2 of The Mandalorian, if we get that kind of Luke Skywalker again, I'm going to be so hype.
Yeah.
Because that's what true fans, and I think most fans, are just yearning for.
Yeah.
Like the Luke Skywalker that we know and love, not the Luke Skywalker of the sequel trilogy.
Kathleen Kennedy, as a leader, she should realize that she is not the one to control everything.
Yeah.
And I think, unfortunately, she has wanted to try to put her dirty paws in everything
Yeah.
instead of trusting those that she hired underneath her. Like, Filoni came from George Lucas. You know, people have their problems with him. I think when he has a right leader in place and he can kind of do the stuff that George taught him, he's in a good place.
Yeah.
But I also think he could possibly be a lapdog and he follows where
Yeah.
things go. Unlike Favreau, who we really haven't heard from in years. And all of a sudden he's back on stage for this Mandalorian movie.
Yeah.
It's really the only thing that got going. So Kathleen Kennedy, if she wants a big win, in my opinion, she should trust those below her who have more creative experience.
Yeah.
She's a great producer. She's been around since 70s.
Yeah.
But as a creative, I don't think she's got it. So I think she needs to trust Favreau, Filoni, Bryce Dallas Howard, some of these other people who were involved
Yeah.
in The Mandalorian and in these other shows that had the creative chops to give us good stories. And I think that would sell. I mean, this is the first time Star Wars is going to be in theaters since The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
And that's what we need. We don't need more Disney Plus shows. We need cinematic experience of Star Wars like we had when we were kids.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't know. I mean, like, I think we don't really know all the details of what's been going on behind the scenes. And so it's hard to make assumptions here. We have rumors. We have what other people are talking about. But I personally think that from Bob Iger's perspective, he's seeing the money lost. There's been tons of rumors that he's been in meetings with Kathleen.
Yeah.
She's in big trouble. I mean, we saw at D23, she wasn't even really there.
Yeah.
She showed up for the Legends award ceremony where she gave Harrison Ford and John Williams a reward. She didn't show up for any of the announcements for the shows, and she's usually there.
Right.
And so to me, that's very telling that she's just kind of fed up and she's done with all. I mean, Acolyte probably just like pissed on her water.
Oh, yeah.
It pissed on everybody's water. But from a business perspective, Acolyte probably just like rang a bell through Disney of that like Star Wars is in trouble.
Yeah, but here's my question. Like, in your right mind, did you actually think that that was going to be successful? Like,
I think she did.
Like, was she so just out of touch with reality that she thought that that was going to be successful? It blows my mind, and that's why my faith in Filoni has wavered a little bit. Is like, how do you sign off on that dog crap?
Yeah.
Like, that's my only
Yeah.
question. Is like, are you forced to sign off on this?
Yeah.
You know, did they have dirt on you? And you have to sign off on this crap because they're basically forcing your hand, like you said, and he's a lapdog and he has to listen.
Yeah.
From my understanding, I think Favreau pushed back a little bit at times because he wanted to stick to the material the way that it needed to be. And I think that's why he disappeared for a little while. But Iger is looking from the outside looking in and saying, we're losing tons of money, we're losing stock. Like, I'm looking at this from a whole perspective. We need something that sells.
Yeah.
So let's give the people what they actually want. Let's actually listen to the majority of the population that says, all the stuff you come out with is crap.
Yeah. I'm thinking that, like, if the creatives or the leadership allowed Favreau to make a movie that's not just a continuation of a show, another just a 2-hour TV episode, and it actually has a purpose, that's where the win will come from. Because we all saw season 3, it didn't look like the same quality, didn't feel like the same quality. I'm pretty sure Favreau didn't have his full hands in it. After season 2, you have this like major hype.
Yeah.
And then it all just went downhill. Like Mandalorian was the top show in the world for years. Yeah. Grogu was a money-making machine. But I think they got so greedy with the idea of like, well, let's just copy and paste, instead of coming up with creative stuff. Mandalorian came out back when like Disney was still trying to figure out Star Wars. But I think once they figured out like, oh, people actually like that, that's when the people, like that's when like the board and the leadership were like, oh, well, we want to get our hands in it. Because they didn't care when they didn't know anything about it. Right. And so, yeah, I don't know. I would love for this to be Kathleen's big win. For years, we've heard rumors that she's going to leave, and she hasn't. Yeah. What is it going to take?
What is she, 71?
Probably.
She's in her 70s. Yeah. So, hey, Kathleen, peace out. Like, just
leave.
Like, just, hey, right off into the sunset.
Do you think if she leaves, do you think that Favreau or Filoni would get put into the helm? Because Filoni's already the creative director. Yeah. Signs off on all projects. Yeah. Which is why it was also questionable about Acolyte. Yeah. But like, do you think Favreau could be somebody that Bob Iger was like, hey, I want you to take over this? I think that would be the smart move, is to appoint Favreau. I think logically what's going to happen is Filoni would probably take the place of Kennedy. And that scares me a little bit. Yeah. But if maybe Filoni has the position of Kathleen where he doesn't have to listen to anybody above, really, and gets fully the opportunity to create his vision, maybe it's different. You know, because Filoni has been on projects that we love. So, and we know that he knows Star Wars. Yeah. Like, he knows Star Wars. He can answer pretty much any Star Wars question. His strength shines in the animated. Yeah, he does shine in the animated. Favreau has proven that he's a pro's pro. I don't know how else to say it. Like, he just knows what he's doing. Yeah. He's been in so many smash hit movies and helped direct and write, and like, the guy knows what he's doing. Yeah. He knows the business and he's a fan. I mean, he talks about how when he was younger, he worked at a movie theater, and he worked at the movie theater when Return of the Jedi came out. He walks in, he sees it. He is part of that nostalgic fan base that I think he knows what fans want, and that's why he did what he did in Mandalorian. Yeah. To try to tie it all together. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, Kathleen's in a very tough spot because she's muddied the waters in so many ways that it's like people are just fed up with Star Wars at this point. Yeah. And I feel like even if she leaves, people won't come back. Yeah. Unless a different company gets it. Well, a lot of people said they're not coming back after Acolyte. I know. Like, that's the scary thing. I know. They're going to have to get a few wins, like you said, to get the trust of the people back. Yeah. So, hopefully it starts with Skeleton Crew, you know? Like, yeah. Who knows? Time will tell. We will see. Well, let us know what you think. Do you think Kathleen Kennedy will actually leave this time? Do you think that we will get better people in the creative spot? Only time will tell, but we would love to know what you think in the comments. So like this video and subscribe to our channel, and we will see you next time.